Well, as you can see, the boy doesn't even look bothered. I think the young man is brimming with confidence, and it doesn't even look like something terrible happened. I think it's a daredevil kind of look. You know, he's very young, a 20-year-old boy with the heart of a devil. And as you can see, honestly speaking, the confidence in the look is very ridiculous.
Say good afternoon, pressmen, members of CLO, ladies and gentlemen. It has become expedient and necessary for us to have this press conference because of the recent happenings and what we have been seeing on the media. For the past 3 days, there's been, I will call it rumor, that has been going around that the prime suspect, Akpan, in the murder of Iniubong Umoren, and he has committed suicide in police cell. They even gave details up to the extent that he used his trouser, that I don't know anywhere in the world where suspects are put in the cells with his trouser, that he committed suicide using his trouser to hang himself. I've been inundated with several calls from all over the world, as if police decided to bungle a direct case of murder. And that's why we have tried to call for this press conference so that you can see him. The man who is said to be dead is sitting down here, and maybe you'll be able to interact with him too. It's most unfortunate that the social media that is supposed to be an advantage to the police and to the citizenry has become a tool that is being used to vilify even the police and the government. It's most unfortunate. You all can see him, he's seated here. He's not dead, he's very much alive, hale and heavy. Well, you can recall that this whole incident started with the job Umoren was seeking to have from Akpan. And unfortunately, the whole thing went sour. The case was first reported as a case of suspected kidnapping. While on the trail of the so-called kidnappers, they went, ICT people went into the media because Instagram was used to facilitate their meeting. And at the end of the day, pictures of Frank and the father came up, and the DPO who ran the division swung into action, arrested the father. By this time, Frank had escaped from the house through Oro to Calabar. Some of his relations, knowing fully well that the father is a bit ill, came to speak about the father to say, let them assist. The DPO, and who happens to be the SP, that one David who then is claiming is a police officer who conspired with Frank, was brought into the picture, and he joined the cousins to call him and talk to him to come back, because Frank kept denying that. He first denied that he did not even see the girl at all, but later he said he did not know anything about the girl. He was convinced by the DPO and the cousins to come back, and he came back through Oron from Calabar, and he was brought to the police station eventually. At this point, he was still denying. He kept denying, and at the end of the day, under serious questioning, he broke down and confessed to having killed the young girl. This made the case to change from anti-kidnapping to homicide department, which investigates murder. Immediately, he led police officers to the scene where they saw the shallow grave, and the body of the deceased, may her soul rest in peace, was exhumed. It was obvious that there was a struggle. I'm not surprised that Frank said, okay, he had carnal knowledge of her at the point, but I'm not surprised there were marks of violence on her abdomen and part of her head, which resulted in the death. The body was taken up and sent to the mortuary for autopsy, and autopsy has been done. I'm sad to announce that the body has been committed to Mother Earth today. They have sent to some rest in peace.
There's a phone ringing.
At the end of the day, the social media has gone gaga. A lot of stories. It's even said that maybe Frank belongs to a group of ritualists or people who harvest body parts to sell. We all know where he was arrested. He does not even have the facilities to keep body parts, because if you want to harvest body parts and sell, from my little understanding of medicine, it must be kept under some conditions. But such things don't exist there, and it was said that a lot of bones, a lot of shallow graves were found in the compound, which investigation has not found to be so. And that's why even when I appeared on Arise Television, I asked the person who wrote that which bones, where did they find bones? At the end of the day, the investigation is still ongoing. We are not foreclosing anything. I will urge Nigerians, instead of going to the press or the media with unclarified or funny information, they should pass it on to the police. Police will investigate. We are still open to find out if it is true that Frank belongs to any body harvesting organization. It's open to. We are open. The investigation is open. The case file will eventually go to DPP, and eventually the justice will take its course. It is pertinent that we should mention all this so that people are not misled. A discrete investigation is still ongoing. It's at its almost at its concluding stage, but we never close investigation until we go to court. So I'm still saying, I'm appealing to members of the public, if you have information on this issue, you don't have it open to it. Frank is here. Frank is not there. His father is by his side there for complicity, accessory after the fact. And at the end of the day, we believe justice will take its course. Thank you very much. Well, let me answer that immediately. We are police officers. We don't base what we do on rumor. We were at the site. Police exhumed the body. If there are shallow graves there, the particular shallow grave that Iniobong was placed in was not more than 2 feet deep. And such a thing, we all know, even if you bury a goat 2 feet deep, after about 48 hours, the stench will not even allow you to, neighbors will know, somebody must know that something has happened there. I saw a BBC video, things that look like holes where they dug up yam are referred to as shallow grave. There are no shallow graves anywhere. There are no bones anywhere. That is the truth. But if anybody can show me any shallow grave there, you should go and show me, but I know there are no shallow graves. We went through the ground properly. Thank you.
Let's have the next question.
My name is
I'm interested in the result of the autopsy. The public will want to know at this point what's the result of it.
The cause of death has already been ascertained by the autopsy. It has been ascertained, and at the end of the day, by the time we file our charges, you get to know it all. I want to tell you one thing. The police has nothing to gain by covering anything. We are not covering anything. I have never met a Frank before. He's a young man. My last child is even older than him. So I have no business. This is a murder case. We are talking of a human life lost. I cannot conspire with him to school investigation in any form. It will become the way it is. And we are going to report it as it is.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, excuse me, sir. My name is Isaac Jebara for the letter.
Last week, the House representative urged the General Police to bring the case to force headquarters.
Yes.
Why is the son still in your custody despite his son?
It's a straightforward case. It's a very straightforward case. My headquarters have asked for a report, which we have done. We are Nigerian police, we use officers. There is no difference between the officer in Force CID and State CID and even in the division. We all had the same training. Murder is murder. The same principles guide the investigation. They have not asked me to transfer it after I've sent the report. If they ask, it's even still open now. But the IG, in his infinite wisdom, did not find a need for it because at the end of the day, we are on the right course.
Yes, please. Yes, we are done. We are done. Thank you. We will now listen to the person. The CP has his closing remarks, but we are done with this.
Now, I thought that we were together. Why did you kill her? Why did you kill her?
Look at the camera.
Owen.
It was not intentional.
Who went under that? The audible. What do you mean? What do you mean by self-defense? What do you mean by self-defense? Look at me. Go ahead. Okay, Frank. Please, the audible.
What happened? Not really. Just give us. Let us know what happened on that day.
The audible.
What happened was that she came for a supposed job interview, which I used reverse psychology on her. I asked her whether she can work in the farm. I asked her whether she can work in the farm where hard drugs are kept. I asked her whether she can work in the farm where hard drugs are kept as a secretary. And she said that she can, that she's ready to do the job. So when she came, I revealed to her that this farm doesn't exist. There's no farm like that. It was just a box. Let me put it that way. So then I told her that before she leaves that I would like to have sex with her, and she agreed, but she gave a condition that I should use a condom, which I did. And while I removed the condom, she became furious and she took the nearby stabilizer to hit me on my head, and then she hit my left ring finger and tried to reach for the bone, screaming, tried to reach for the bone. So while I was bleeding, in a bid to stop her, I used the stabilizer to tap. And when I hit her, she fell and started bleeding. Thereafter she died.
So where did she hit you?
On my phone.
Where is the wound?
What did you do? Okay. You don't have. How come? You said she agreed to have sex with you and use a condom, and then all of a sudden she started to attack you. How did it happen?
I said that while I was about removing the condom, she became furious.
Why did you want to remove the condom?
Yes.
Why did you want to remove the condom?
You injured her on her head. And what did you use to hit her?
What did you use to hit her?
The same stabilizer she used to hit.
At what point was she screaming for help?
When I tried to remove the condom.
But you didn't use only stabilizer, you used something else. Say it.
That was an iron, pressing iron.
Where did you use to hit? Where did you hit her?
On her abdomen when she was fighting. So she held me. So the only way I could stop her was which hand?
Was she your first victim?
Yeah.
So how many have you killed in that process?
Killed. I've not killed anybody. Say the one I've killed.
You said she was not your first victim. How many victims have fallen? How many girls, women, have you done that to? Whether they died or they did not die? How many so far?
The same reverse side.
Yeah, how many? All reverse or reverse?
About six.
What of that NYC shoes in your house?
The NYC shoes is the shoe my mom used when she was in NYC that we used for farming. shoe is just for family in the house. It's not a copper shoe. It's not as if a copper came.
How did your father assist you in this case?
He did not assist me.
Do you live in that house?
So who helped you to bury her? Did you hypnotize her with any substance?
No.
Is the number of exercise books and textbooks that are in that compound? Who owns them? Those books.
Those exercise books, those nursery and primary and secondary exercise books are owned by I and my sisters.
There are several names on them. None of it is your own name. Who are those people? Those names are not.
Several names. Different names.
There are no different names on them.
Absolutely,
if you open them, you see either my name or my sister's name.
How about the red gown? The red gown in the room. Who owns it? There's a red gown in the room. In one of the rooms. Yes.
Why did you go into it?
What's your level of education?
I'm a university student.
What class are you reading? What level?
University.
Did you graduate or you?
What subject? What class? What level?
Public administration.
What level?
Yeah.
How old are you?
20 years.
This was your relationship with Kufrefion?
Kufrefion is my cousin.
And how did he help in this whole thing?
You called him on that day. What's the subject of conversation you had with him?
That was when I was coming back from Calabar. Because initially in the morning I went to Calabar. So while I was coming back, I need to submit myself to the police. He was the one that picked me up together with the DPO.
What's your conversation with him? What were you discussing?
Now, how do you feel about what had happened? Hello, dear.
My conversation with him was very short and simple. He texted me the number of the DPO of Iran that I should call him when I arrived with you. So I called the DPO of Iran when I arrived with you. And then I met with them and they picked me in the footage.
Where did they pick you?
At Shelter Africa Junction.
When you kill her, why do you go and dock a grave to the burial? Why not take it to the police or report to the police that somebody has died in your house?
I was very scared to do that because I thought maybe the whole scenario was supposed to.
So, in the end, what was your motive? For you ask her to come to get the job. What was your motive? What was in your mind initially?
I used reverse psychology because I've had very bad experiences with wrong girls and prostitutes. So I used reverse psychology on her. I asked her whether she can work in a farm where hard drugs are kept, and she accepted. She even told me that she's marijuana and cocaine. So I felt that that's the best way to revenge on prostitutes and wrong girls.
Are you being patronizing prostitutes?
No, I used to.
Now, how do you feel about what is done? What is done before the whole world? How do you feel?
I'm not happy about it, but I believe that the Commissioner of Police is working with men and he has assured Nigerians, has assured our private clients and the entire world that justice will take place. So you guys should just hold on.
Was your father around when this thing happened? Your father be not there when this thing happened?
No, he wasn't around.
How about your sister? Is she involved?
Are you remorseful? Are you remorseful of the entire incident?
Yes,
But you don't sound and look remorseful.
You said justice should prevail. Now, if
What
that
is
justice
justice?
means
Taking your life,
taking your life, will you readily agree?
yes.
Were you in love with the girl?
No.
Where are you from? Please, you don't have business here, leave, I beg. Please keep quiet now.
Were you aware of what your son did?
I wasn't aware. I'm not happy about it. It has
Fine, I can't get him. Please get
I
him.
wasn't aware.
So at what point do you know about this incident? At what point?
When I was asked to recall him, when police came to my compound, checked the compound, they didn't say anything. So I was invited to come and make a statement at the Uran police station. I did. So I was asked to call him immediately, and I called him back. So when he now arrived, I was allowed to interact with him. He told me that he did something wrong and that he's sorry. I was blaming him. Why do you do this? We are not the only child. I have 2 other children and they are women. They are graduates. One is finishing, one is just starting. If anybody does this to their sisters, would you like to say no? So he was very...
Were you in the house when this is
I wasn't in. I went to town.
So is that your house, sir?
Yes, it's my compound.
Do you live there?
Yes, I live there.
It is reported that nobody has access, that never had access to that compound.
It's always locked.
It's always locked.
That is not true.
That's what the neighbor said.
That is not true. That's what we have. We have a borehole in that house. All the people in the street, they fetch water from there. We have plenty of fruits and vegetables in that compound. We give out fruits free. So it's just unfortunate.
Were you aware that your son has been in the business?
No.
That you are involved?
I'm not.
He said he has taken advantage of over 6 girls, and you never, for one, suspect that you stay in that house.
I'm not aware about that. The reason is I just relocated. We just relocated from Abuja. I've not been around for 30 years. We've been living outside here. So we just relocated because I've been retired. So it's not up to even 2 years we fully relocated.
Now, where do you retire from?
As what? Okay, from the ministry.
Which ministry?
Federal Ministry of Health.
As?
My position?
Yes.
Okay, Deputy Director. So, once in a while, some other official assignment take me out, even though I've retired. Like, for instance, the health records board of Nigeria, you know, the age of that's our parastatals. They call us to come and do supervision. So that's what takes me out. Then, if I'm not around, my other children, they are always around, especially during holidays. They are at school.
Okay, information got in that initially you were arrested while they were still in search of your son who was at large.
No,
did you give information to the police at the very part of
Yes, immediately. I said, Ubak says he's going to Calabar. They now said I should call him. So I called him back and he came back. It was when he now came back that they now asked me to go. And so they now say they are going to interrogate Ubak.
Everybody is asking for justice. And what we tend to understand by justice in other cases is the person should die. You also request for that justice.
Well, it depends on the system. I'm not happy about what my child has done. I don't even believe this can happen to me. After I send them to school, try to bring them up. Yeah, justice can be done if the system so permits.
Your son says Kufrefion played a very integral role in his arrest. You also say you call him back to Calabar. From Calabar, which one should you take? Your son said Kufrefion asked him to come back. You are now telling us you called your son to come from Calabar.
Yes, I called him when I was asked to come and make this statement. They brought a phone, showed me 2 pictures, said, who among these women? I said, this is my son. So as we were going to the police station, they said, since he has gone to that, I should recall him. I called him and
with your number?
Yes.
You still got the number. Dialing his phone over the past.
No, I didn't call. I didn't call his number. His phone was off. I called the sister as soon as we got arrived.
What you say? You
What is your phone name?
You're calling the sister.
Sir, who is belong to you?
Kufrefion is the son to my brother. One of the sons to my brother.
And this is
this is my only son.
how many children do you have?
I have 3 children.
Sorry, can we get him again?
Akpan.
Frank Akpan.
Frank, that's how I'm.
Full name.
Yes.
How many years old are you?
No.
But it has been one that you've traded the business for years.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you. We are done. Carry on.